Mr. Secretary, I want to turn to the war in Sudan. This is, as you know, the world's largest displacement and humanitarian crisis. 500,000 people are facing famine. I saw firsthand the suffering when I visited Sudanese refugees in Chad. Earlier this year, and again yesterday, you reiterated that the Rapid Support Forces, a militia, is committing a genocide in Sudan. Is that correct?
We're very concerned about what both sides are doing, frankly, but the RSF in particular.
Correct. I agree with that. You also said as part of that, that all of our engagement with the UAE, we need to raise the fact that they are openly supporting an entity that is carrying out a genocide. And yet, President Trump continues to arm the UAE. In fact, he just blew through Ranking Member Meek's congressional hold on over $1 billion in arms sales, ignoring this committee's longstanding role as an independent check on major arms sales. And we can have a policy debate here about the merits of continuing to arm the UAE or not, despite this genocide. I had that same conversation with Secretary Blinken.
All right, this went sideways for Democrats almost immediately. From the very first seconds, this Congresswoman thought she had Marco Rubio trapped. She came in aggressively, accusing Trump of corruption, expecting Rubio to play defense. But that plan fell apart fast. Instead of looking pressured, Rubio immediately pushed back on what he called Democrat hypocrisy and selective outrage. And you could feel the hearing start shifting in real time. Like, subscribe, and share for more political breakdowns and reactions. Let's dive in.
But actually, I want to talk about the events that led up to that decision. So on April 30th, the Trump Organization, which Donald Trump still owns, unveiled plans to build an 80-story Trump Tower in Dubai. Then on May 1st, Trump's crypto company, World Liberty Financial, secured a $2 billion deal with an Emirati company with deep ties to the government. And only 11 days later, on May 12th, your department notified our committee that it would ignore Ranking Member Meek's holds on UAE arms sales. Secretary Rubio, we have a president who is personally profiting from a deal with a foreign government-backed company at the same time he is selling lethal weapons to that same government. Isn't that a clear conflict of interest?
I think no matter who was president, they would have to deal with the UAE. We have to. They're a member.
That's not my question. We can have a policy debate about how we should engage with the UAE.
They're making claims about corruption, and I'm answering that any president in the United States, I don't care who the president is, would have to deal with UAE. They're a member of the Abraham Accords, number one. They've been incredibly cooperative on a bunch of other issues. We don't agree with them on 100%. We have concerns about some of the things they do, but this is called the balancing of foreign policy.
Secretary
It is in
Rubio,
our national interest to have
you.
a good relationship with the UAE, despite the fact that there are things we do we don't like.
Secretary Rubio, I don't disagree with you. I just visited the UAE a couple weeks ago and had these very same conversations there, but I don't think this is a complicated question. President Trump is personally profiting from a deal with a foreign government while selling weapons to that same government who is enabling a genocide. Policy aside, are you really saying you don't think this is a conflict of interest?
No, you're making claims. The president's family owns a business, and they can conduct business anywhere in the world they want. The president's never once raised business deals in UAE when talking about it. Any president would have to have a relationship with the UAE.
Secretary Rubio, that's just silly.
The previous administration had one too.
President Trump has retained his ownership of these companies, and I have an image right here from World Liberty Financial's website. So the idea that President Trump is not the face of the brand of this company on top from benefiting from them, and it literally says on the website that Mr. Trump and his family members own a 60% stake in this company, that's silly. So we can talk about the policy merits. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you a very simple question. Do you believe it's a conflict of interest to have a president personally profiting from a deal with a foreign government while selling weapons to that same government who's enabling a genocide?
I don't accept the premise of your question. I think this has nothing to do with personally benefiting from anything. This has to do with the fact that in order to conduct foreign policy in the Middle East, you're going to have to deal with the UAE.
Mr. Secretary, this is a clear conflict of interest, and anyone with any common sense can see that. The president is personally benefiting from billions of dollars of deals, and he doesn't care at all about the people of Sudan who are experiencing famine and genocide. It's shocking to me that you can't admit that. It's clear that you seem more concerned about staying in Trump's good graces than sticking up for human rights and American values that you once were a champion for. With that, I'm going to yield the remainder of my time to Representative Olszewski.
Well, you make these claims about staying in good graces. You accuse people of being
reclaiming my time,
corrupt.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate a
UAE.
softball for you, yes or no, since I don't have a lot of time, and I appreciate it. The chairman gives me a few seconds back. Softball for you. Would you, yes or no, as Secretary, find it outrageous for you to solicit or accept a $200,000 Rolls Royce from a foreign government for personal or State Department use?
That offer's never been made to me.
Yes, so you would reject that offer?
The offer of a Rolls Royce?
Yes.
I don't understand the purpose of that question. That's a silly question.
The fact that you can't answer the question,
I
Mr.
just answered it. I
Secretary,
said it's silly.
silly because you would accept it or not?
Of course not. Who would accept it? But
Well,
no one's
then
getting
I think you should
what are
maybe
you
perhaps,
equating that to?
Mr. Secretary, reclaim my time. I think you are an honorable man by most accounts, but the man that you work for doesn't. And the fact that he is soliciting and accepting a $400 million plane is problematic. And you should know about it. It came up in a Senate hearing.
The turning point happens when the Congresswoman tries to force Rubio into agreeing that Trump personally profited from office and behaved corruptly. She clearly expected a clean soundbite. Instead, Rubio immediately changes the battlefield. Rather than getting trapped defending every accusation, Rubio starts pointing directly at Democrats and asks why outrage suddenly appears only when Trump's name is involved. That completely changes the energy in the room. You can see the Congresswoman trying to keep the focus on Trump, but Rubio keeps widening the argument into a broader attack on political double standards. One of the strongest moments is when Rubio calmly pushes back while she grows visibly more frustrated. That contrast matters because Rubio doesn't sound rattled at all. He sounds like somebody who expected the attack and already had his counter ready. The hearing quickly stops feeling like an interrogation of Rubio and starts feeling like Rubio is putting Democrats themselves on trial for hypocrisy. And that's why this clip is blowing up. Because whether people agree with him or not, Rubio completely refused to play the role Democrats wanted him to play.